This is Cedarwood Luxury Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio. This is Cedarwood Luxury Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio.
Hello viewers, I am Ambassador Dr. Julius Oyedemi, your most astounding CEO 2023 P1 Group. The best radio to listen to is no other than the Cedarwood Luxury Radio. Thank you.
Information, they say, is key. And by key, do well to join us every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. live on Facebook and on YouTube. We are Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio.
This is Cedarwood Luxury Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio.
All right, Lagos, Nigeria. Beautiful morning to you. How are you all doing? Yeah, okay, yes, we are here and we are live again on Facebook and on YouTube and every other place that you can think of. It's only Facebook. Okay. It is only Facebook and YouTube that we are live on, though. Yeah. But don't worry, very soon we'll be live on every other platforms. Welcome to yet another amazing time. It is a special day. It's a beautiful day. Today's date is 26. Yeah, okay. I think, yeah, 27. Oh, yesterday was 26. Okay, yeah, today is 27. Wednesday, 10:07, the time. Where are you at this very moment? How are you doing? Trust you had a wonderful night rest and hope your day is going fine as planned. This is Morning Delights. It comes your way every Wednesday morning by 10 a.m. And today is not an exception. We are live and to the glory of God. We thank God for the gift of life. My name is David and we are Nigeria's first real estate radio, Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. Yes. Today we want to talk about, I was supposed to have Mr. Gold in the studio, but he's very, very much occupied. And we might have to extend that conversation again next week, talking about what is it called now? Emotional intelligence and its application on our various place of work. Yes, so we'll have that conversation next week, hopefully, if he's very much available. I don't know about next week, but let's just see how it goes. Yeah. If not, we'll have it every. Would always. Don't worry. Yeah, we'll definitely have it. Today we want to talk about paternity fraud. Yeah. This week has been a lot of news, a lot of controversies and all that as regards paternity fraud. And then Nigeria, coming second, highest second amongst, amongst those that, were listed amongst countries and that was listed that has, a high number of paternity fraud. And, I decided to talk about it this morning because, you see, this paternity fraud of a thing used to be a conversation of some sort of conversation that people do not really take that serious, not until of recent that, it has becoming a thing. It has become a thing. It has become a thing, honestly speaking. And the question I'm going to be asking you, because I want you to be part of the conversation, you can join the conversation via the comment section and also, yes, the comment section of the live stream, of this very live stream, either on YouTube or on Facebook, whichever way. And also the WhatsApp number, which is right there on the screen. Do not also forget to like, to comment. What are you going to comment? The question I'm going to ask, but also I want to hear from you. I want to know how you are. I want to know where you're watching me live from. I want to know what you're up to at this very moment. And I want to also feel your pulse, okay? So this morning I'm asking, in your own opinion, what do you think would be the best form of punishment, or would I say best, punishment for best way of punishing those involved, or if I should use the word, deal with those found guilty of paternity fraud. What, in your own opinion, would be the best way to deal with those found guilty of paternity fraud? I'd love to hear from you this morning, okay? All right. Yeah. Okay. Now let's begin the conversation. Let's begin the conversation immediately. This conversation is actually, it's a big one. It's really it's really a big conversation. And while I was preparing for this, gathering all the content from different sources, I was like, am I sure I'll be able to cover this conversation? Now let me take you back to January 10th, 2001. From the Vanguard newspaper, it says here, one of the headlines in Vanguard newspaper, Nigeria ranks second highest in paternity fraud in the world. Of recent, this position that we collected when it comes to paternity fraud became, started trending on social media, on Twitter or X, started trending on X. And I'm like, I was really surprised because to me, I felt paternity fraud is not something that is popular in Africa, not to talk of Nigeria. When we hear of different cases of paternity fraud, it usually comes from the abroad and all that thing. To me, I felt paternity fraud is not something that is, part of us. It's not something that is really common amongst, really common in Nigeria and Africa a whole. And when I came across that, a particular picture on X, I saved it, a particular picture on X, ranking Nigeria as second, at some point I felt this could be just some social media shenanigans, some people trying to be funny with, this whole thing. And then when I made my research, I got to discover that in 2001, 2021, this is 2024. That was when I was able to believe that report. So we have been carrying this position since 2001, and in 2024, it became so obvious. I mean, it became very, very popular, and people became more aware of the fact that Nigeria came second. A round of applause. It's not funny, actually. Now let me read out what the Vanguard actually talked. What the Vanguard had to say about that. This is January 10, 2021, and today is January 27, 2024. Okay. Now, 3 out of 10 Nigerian men are not biological fathers of their children. 3 out of 10 Nigerian men are not biological fathers of their children. Do not forget, I'm asking you this morning, what, in your own opinion, is the best way to deal with those found culpable, found guilty of paternity fraud? A DNA test revealed that Christopher Johnson wasn't the biological father of the 3 children he had nurtured and invested in for almost 2 decades. The children, Esther, 19, Shirley, 17, Stephen, 15, were born by the same mother who unfortunately was deceased. Christopher, a successful but retired architect, was compelled to find out the truth about the paternity of the children after a stranger turned up one day to claim he was their biological father and challenged him to a DNA paternity test. Christopher received the shock of his life when the result proved that the stranger was indeed the children's real father. It turned out that the man and his wife had been involved in a long secret love affair that produced the 3, not 1, 3 children he erroneously assumed belonged to him. DNA paternity tests are unraveling a lot of buried family secrets. Keeping family secrets isn't as easy as it used to be, and just one DNA test could change everything for better or for worse. Many children are experiencing paternity scandals by learning that their father is really not their biological father. The perception that paternity fraud is high in Nigeria is not unfounded. Reports have been making the round that Nigeria has the second highest rate of paternity fraud in the world after Jamaica. Jarasta fried ras. Brata! The madman is a mad word. Hey, double and down, three down, double down, square, square. Befu. All right. Many men have been unknowingly raising children that are not theirs. And to curb the trend, they have and to curb the trend, all right, apologies for that. I had to just take a quick break to sort out something. All right, so where did I stop? Now, many men have been unknowingly raising children that are not theirs, and to curb this and to curb the trend, there have been calls for introduction of mandatory DNA tests at birth. The issue of paternity is a trilogy. It's normal, scientific, and legal issue. A concerned communicator noted series of DNA tests carried out in laboratories are showing that a number of children are being fathered by men who are not their biological father. Saturday Vanguard investigation revealed that traditionally in Nigeria, paternity of a child is commonly determined by acknowledgement, presumption, or by proof. Probably the most common mode of paternity is by acknowledgement. Once a man admits he is the father of a child, the case is closed. A man is presumed to be the father of a child once the child is born within wedlock. Okay. Now, let me take you to what here? I think 2023. Let's go back a bit to. Okay, no. That's not it. That's not it. All right. Okay. This is what I've just said. Yeah, this is so amazing. This is so amazing. I want to take you back to 2023. Yes. And this time around, from the Punch, 16th December 2023. Paternity fraud, shocking revelations as more couples embrace DNA test. Now you see how this paternity fraud, paternity fraud and DNA test, you see where it started from. And this has been in existence long before 2021. All right. Now, it became more obvious when we were ranked second in the world. Let's come forward. Let's come forward a bit from 2021 to 2023. Now, this time around 16th December 2023, it says here that recent studies have revealed that 1 in every 4 tested men turned out not to be the biological father of their children. Now, in 2021, it says 3 out of 10. 2021, 2022, 2023, now revealed, that is to tell you that from 2021 down to 2023, it has increased. It has become a thing. It has become more popular. Remember, I made mention earlier that when I came across the trend on social media, Nigerian ranking second when it comes to paternity fraud, I didn't believe it because I thought it was just somebody trying to be funny and trying to just, give the dog a bad name in order to kill it. Until I made some research and I discovered that this ranking or this position or this award, this trophy, silver award, was given to us in 2021. Not out of assumption, But out of the reality that, yes, this is the reality on ground, or should I say, out of the fact that it is the reality on ground, 3 out of 10 in 2021. Now, in 2023, recent study revealed that in every 4 tested men, it revealed that 1 in every 4 turned out not to be the biological father of their children, and ranks Nigeria as the 2nd highest in paternity fraud. Mr. Olarewaju's surname withheld rubbed both eyes with the back of his hands. He was not sure what he saw as the truth. How can four of the kids who call me father are not mine? He wondered, how can 4 of the kids who call me father not be mine? After secretly conducting DNA tests to confirm his first son's paternity at the DCC DNA Diagnostic Center in Osogbo, Osun State, he received the shock of his life. Sharing his story in tears on a radio station in Ibadan, Oyo State, the 44-year-old Osun State indigene said his wife, whom he married in 2007, brought another man's children for him to father. The children, who are 6, 12, 8, and 5 years old, were tested after Olarewaju discovered what he termed promiscuous moves from his wife. After the first child's DNA did not match his, he decided to carry out tests on all 4, which returned negative. Crying profusely, he said, I want Nigerians to come to my rescue because I must not suffer this in vain. I married Toyin in 2007 and she gave birth to 4 children, but none of the children belonged to me after subjecting them to DNA tests. However, reacting to the development, his wife disagreed with the result, saying that she was not there when the samples were taken, adding that she also did not know which samples were taken. Oh, really? She stated, I don't accept the result. I don't accept it because I was not there when they took samples and I don't know which samples they took, so I don't accept it. I can't accept it because I know how I conceived those children. After a few days, Tony made a U-turn, revealing on air that the 4 kids indeed were not her husband's, adding that they belonged to her pastor. She also stated in Yoruba that her husband only fathered 1, and that other one, and that the other one belonged to a meat seller at the local market. The shock on her husband's face was met with hot tears that trickled down his cheeks and onto his chest. Now the question is, what then happened to the children? What happened to the children? The kind of emotions, what would be running through their head at this point, or at that point? What would be? Do you know what it means to get used to somebody? I mean, to grow up with somebody that you call father, and then all of a sudden a stranger, just shows up somewhere. And do you know what it means? The kind of trauma, the kind of emotions, not just on the man involved, but the children itself. Now, this paternity fraud of a thing became very obvious when ex-Chelsea player Geremi Njitap files for divorce over paternity fraud. Of recent, an ex-player, a Chelsea ex-player, discovered that I think 3 children. Yeah, 3 children, right? 3 of his children doesn't belong to him. 3. Now, Leadership newspaper reported 3 days ago that former Chelsea star Garemi Njitap has filed for divorce after finding out that he raised twins that were never his children in 12 years of marriage. The 45-year-old, remember the other person I read about, 45-year-old too. The 45-year-old has been married to Taukam Fatso Laurel Van Lijn for over a decade. The UK Sun report that court documents in Garami's native Cameroon show Taukam destroyed the harmony of their marriage through her abject behavior. They also mentioned her repeated lies and add no children have been born from his new union. No children. Taukam had claimed the twins born in June 2008, 4 years before the couple's marriage, were his, which motivated them to get married. But the discovery that the children were from her previous partner destroyed the couple's harmony, the documents add. Garemi made 109 Chelsea appearances between 2003 and 2007, scoring 4 goals. He played for Real Madrid between 1999 and 2003. On the international scene, he was part of the Cameroon team that recorded consecutive AFCON trophies in 2000 and 2002. This is quite unfortunate. All right. Do not forget, I'm asking you, what, in your own opinion, is the best way to deal with those found guilty of paternity fraud? And then, would you want to share your story? Okay. Would you want to share your story? Do you know of anyone, probably a neighbor, someone in your environment, someone on your streets, just someone around you that is in this case of paternity fraud? Now, it says here that fans react on Garemi Njap's paternity fraud after 12 years of marriage. Okay, I'm still on the ex-Chelsea. I'm still on the case of the ex-Chelsea player. Former Chelsea star and Cameroon international Garemi Njitap has filed. Okay, I read it. Okay, yeah, I've talked about it. I talked about this. Okay. All right. So yeah, I made mention that he has filed for divorce. And fans, okay, yes, I wanted to talk about the fact that fans are really reacting. I think this was actually not even. I think this was actually what made this paternity fraud of a thing became started trending again between last week and this week. Yes, this particular case was what made this paternity fraud of a thing became the talk of the town, social media, and also everywhere. And then the ranking of a thing also came up. Now let's go deeper into this conversation. Let's really, really talk about, I've just talked about ranking. I've talked about several stories from different people. Now, a Nigerian music star in the person of Vector makes case for men. Paternity fraud. Rapper Vector makes case for men. You see, I'm still just giving you different. I've not really gone deep into the conversation. I've not really, gone deep into the conversation. I'm just bringing different stories from different sources and newspaper concerning this paternity fraud of a thing. Now, Vector has something to say. Popular rapper Vector has said, the rate of paternity fraud in Nigeria shows that Nigerian men are not as unfaithful as the opposite gender. Do you agree with Vector? Do you beg to differ, or do you agree that after all, if they say Nigerian men are, more very, very unfaithful, I mean, Vector has come out to say that has come out to say that paternity fraud in Nigeria shows that Nigerian men are not really, really unfaithful as the opposite gender. The Crown of Clay crowner stated this while reacting to viral statistics that claimed Nigeria has the second highest paternity fraud percentage in the world after Jamaica. Talking on his X handle, Vector wrote, if Nigeria is the second highest in paternity fraud globally, how then are men scum? Or the mean men? Daily Post reports that some Nigerians on social media have been advocating that DNA tests be made compulsory given the recent case of paternity fraud. Do you also agree that a paternity test should be made compulsory, especially after childbirth? Do you agree? Or do you think Nigerian men can really, really trust their partners and say, okay, you know what, don't worry. There's nothing they happen, nothing they share there. Should it be made compulsory? So if, for instance, I get married tomorrow and my beloved, beautiful wife gives birth to twins, a baby boy and a girl, or whichever one, should I probably the next day or a week later now say, oh yeah, Bia, can you get me DNA test? Let's really know. Should it be that compulsory? Or should the DNA test come maybe after 5-10 years? Or probably you are now suspecting that your wife have now started, philandering in a funny way. And I say, okay, you know what? Based on the way you've acted and reacted so far, can you get me? Let us go and do paternity. You see, the Igbo I'm speaking is very, very... if you're not Igbo, you can forget that. So, jokes apart now, yeah. So let's go and do DNA test. So that your neighbor that just gave birth, are you going to advise him and go and meet him and say, Augusta, congratulations on your baby or a baby girl. Go and do DNA test. Your colleague, Esa, I know your wife just gave birth. I do not mean to be rude, but go and do DNA test. Based on the fact that, it has become a thing. It has become very, very, very popular these days. What am I playing? What's playing in the background? Who are those clapping in the background? All right. Okay. Now, let's move on. Taking to his X handle, Vector wrote, if Nigeria is the second highest in paternity fraud globally, how then are men scum? Okay. Daily Post report that some Nigerians on social media have been advocating that DNA tests be made compulsory given the recent case of paternity fraud. All right. Okay, this is amazing. At this point, let me begin. I might have to continue next week because of my time. Because of my time. All right, let's talk about paternity fraud. What was that? What was really going on there? Yeah. Let's talk about paternity fraud. We've talked about several scenarios, several cases, reactions, actions, and all that. All right. Paternity fraud exposed, insights and implications. I'll begin this discussion, and then next week I'll conclude on it. Paternity fraud. What is paternity fraud? Okay. For those that don't understand, it might sound like big English to you. Now, paternity fraud exposed, insights, and what? Implications. And then next week, I would continue the conversation. And this time around, I'll be talking about paternity fraud in Nigeria, unveiling the hidden truth. That will be the continuation of this discussion that I'll begin today. Let me just take about 5 minutes, and then I'll call it a day. We'll be back again by 1 p.m. Now, a widespread of deception that misrepresents a child's biological father has significant implications, including emotional distress and financial burdens. You see that financial burden. Paternity DNA tests, no be small money, no be 200,000, no be 100,000, no be 500,000. It don't be like malaria test where they do, or be sugar level test where they go do. If they tell you the amount to do DNA test, then you will know that paternity fraud is really a serious case, and there needs to be serious, I wanted to say dealment, but serious punishment for those found guilty. It touches upon family law, child support payments, the child's welfare, the victims of paternity fraud. This discussion aims to explore the complexity of paternity fraud, examining its scope and consequences to provide a thorough understanding of its seriousness. Focusing on the central aspect of paternity fraud statistics, we dive into the numbers associated with this deceptive practice. The goal of this discussion is to illuminate the prevalence and the impact of paternity fraud in different societal contexts. This particular discussion on paternity fraud offers insight into the frequency of such occurrences and highlights broader implications for individuals, families, and the legal system. By navigating through the insight, our aim is to empower all our listeners, with a comprehensive understanding of the magnitude of paternity fraud, fostering awareness and encouraging informed decisions on the matter. That's a powerful introduction. Paternity fraud occurs when a mother wrongly identifies a man as the father of her child, resulting in unjust child support payments. Victims often find themselves bewildered, realizing the child they believed was theirs lacks any genetic connection. This deception involves inaccurately assigning fatherhood to a man, leading to a significant consequences in child support. It can stem from international misinformation, confusion, or external pressures. The impact goes beyond financial burdens, causing emotional distress as victims discover the child they thought was biologically theirs shares no genetic link whatsoever. This unsettling revelation can disrupt the foundations of trust within family relationships, promoting a resentment of not only legal responsibilities, but also the intricate dynamics of parent-child bonds. Unraveling the complexities surrounding the definition of paternity fraud, it is essential to comprehend the multifaceted challenges it poses to individuals and families. Let's talk about how paternity fraud happens. Comprehensively addressing the complexities of paternity fraud It requires an understanding of its diverse manifestations. We are going to explore the nuanced method through which paternity fraud occurs. We'll try as much as possible to shed light on unsuspecting parts that can lead to false paternity identifications. From legal documentation to international manipulation and genuine misunderstanding, each mechanism adds layers to the understanding of this multifaceted issue. So I invite you to join me as I explore the complexity of paternity fraud, uncovering the reasons behind the misidentification of fathers and its consequences. Erroneous naming on birth certificates. Let's paint a scenario now. The mother incorrectly identifies a man as the biological father when registering the child's birth. The mechanism. The misinformation becomes legally binding when recorded on the birth certificate, establishing a false sense of paternity. Manipulation for church for child support. Now I'm telling you how I'm giving you how paternity fraud happens. One, erroneous naming on birth certificates. And I painted a scenario of a mother incorrectly identifying a man as the biological father when registering the child's, birth. And the mechanism at which it works is when misinformation becomes legally binding and recorded on on birth certificate, establishing a false sense of paternity. Another way paternity fraud happens is manipulation, manipulation for child support. The child's mother deliberately engages in committing paternity fraud to manipulate the legal system and collect child support from a man who is not the biological father. By falsely naming an unsuspecting individual as the father, the mother secures financial support under false pretense. DNA paternity testing manipulation is another way. In some cases, the DNA evidence in the paternity testing process itself may be manipulated. The manipulation could involve tampering with samples, presenting false results, or coercing someone else to complete a DNA test on behalf of the actual biological father, leading to an incorrect identification of paternity. Are you seeing how paternity fraud happens now? Miscommunication and misunderstanding is another way. Paternity fraud can also arise from miscommunication and misunderstanding between individuals involved. The mother may genuinely believe a certain man is the biological father due to misinterpretation or misinformation, leading to unintentional paternity misidentification. Unawareness of multiple potential fathers is another way. In situations where multiple individuals could potentially be the father, the mother may be unaware of the true biological parent. And in that situation, in that case, she places paternity on the child on any man, preferably the man that she knows that is capable of taking care of the child. In situations where multiple individuals could potentially be the father, the mother may be unaware of the true biological parent. Lack of clarity and uncertainty about the paternity can result in an erroneous identification, especially if the mother has not disclosed all potential fathers or is genuinely unsure about the biological parentage. I'll continue this conversation next week, and this time around, I'm going to be looking into the importance of paternity fraud statistics. And then we'll have an overview, a statistics overview. We'll have a statistics overview. We'll try and uncover many phases of paternity fraud After that, we'll segue into paternity fraud in Nigeria, unveiling the hidden truths. But then I'll end this particular session of this discussion this way. Understanding this detailed mechanism is crucial for recognizing the diverse ways in which paternity fraud can occur, encompassing legal documentation, international deception or financial gain, and manipulation of scientific testing process. Each avenue highlights the potential vulnerabilities in the paternity identification system, emphasizing the need for comprehensive measures to prevent and address such fraudulent practice. Because of my time, I would pause here. Next week, we'll go deeper into this conversation. I want you to follow me closely, yeah? Follow me closely. And like I said earlier, we'll continue this conversation from looking into the importance of paternity fraud statistics. We'll then have a statistics overview. We'll try as much as possible to uncover many phases of paternity fraud. After that, we'll then look into paternity fraud in Nigeria, unveiling the hidden truths. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll be back again by 1 p.m. God bless you all.
Now you know. Now you know. If you know, you know. The big ballers in town.
Happy New Year to you all. This is another beautiful year, 2024. I pray this new year will bring prosperity. This 2024 is a year of investment. That's why I'm bringing you people Cedarwood City Estate Owerri, powered by P1 Plus. My name is Emmanuel Madweki. I'm the business development manager of P1 Plus. This is the beautiful estate in the city of Owerri. This estate shares proximity with Olako Junction. Stone throw to Sambakwe Airport is a nice estate you should not miss. When we started this estate, it was selling for 3 million naira. But guess what? It has appreciated to 4 million naira. That's what we are selling it here. Do you know why? Because we are going to have more development in this estate. Few months from now, this price 4 million is not going to remain the same. Few months from now, this estate will still appreciate to 5 million naira. So if you missed the opportunity when it was selling for 3 million, don't miss this opportunity as it's selling for 4 million naira now. This estate has an amazing land title, registered survey and power of attorney. And when you buy here, you don't have business with the community again. Company have settled the community, company have settled the youth. You don't pay agent fee. And there's security here already. In this estate, we have employed security that secures this place day and night. So you don't need to be worried about. This is the best estate in the city of Owerri. In fact, this is the Akaroko in the city of Owerri when it comes to investment. Don't miss this wonderful opportunity. Come and be a landowner in this Cedarwood City Estate. We'll give you flexible payment plan. Don't worry about that.